Hello and greetings to you from Germany. Aninja Vihara. Many blessings to you. This is Ayyā Phalanyani speaking. Today we have question and answer about meditation. This is where we left off last week. And decided, although one said, and I think it was Buddha Ruchi, that we can talk about Nama Rupa, which would have been the alternative. But I think it's still worthwhile to talk about meditation. And I would kindly ask you to put your questions into the chat, because otherwise I wouldn't know what kind of questions you have. I'm happy to see you all and looking forward to have your questions on meditation in the chat. Maybe until there are questions about meditation, we can just start to do some meditation. And if after that there are no questions, I will say whatever I think is right. So, but let's start and just take a few minutes to get to know our breath a little bit better. This is how we start, and the breath is a meditation object that the Buddha says is of great benefit, of great fruit. So you sit, whether on a chair, as I'm sitting on a chair today, or on the floor, or wherever, however you sit or stand. Make sure your back is upright. Your column vertebra is most straight as possible, is not twisted, is not to one side, but in any direction, just straight. And then you start to relax your belly and your chest and everything there is, except of course those muscles and sinews that you would need to keep your back upright. Usually we have the tendency to one side or to the front. Some have the tendency to lean somewhat to the back. We try to feel and know how our back, our column vertebra would be upright. And we remember to relax our belly. We remember to relax our shoulders. And breath keep coming in and going out. We relax our jaw, the jaw joints, the chin, the forehead, the neck and the back. And we just let the breath go in and out. And when our back is upright and our muscles and sinews are relaxed, then whenever a breath comes in, our lungs will be filled with air, and we feel as it softly comes into our body, this air from outside, and how it fills our lungs, and that because we are relaxed, all of our organs receive a little massage, and our belly expands, is kind of rising. And since we have our belly relaxed, next thing that happens when the breath leaves our body, without pushing, without controlling, just naturally, the breath softly leaves our body. And our belly falls back. And we can see either very at the bottom of our belly, in the height of the belly button, or higher up in the abdomen, we can see the movement that is happening as it is rising and falling. And rising and falling. And as you sit, you can know the sitting. Choose one point or choose your entire part where your bottom is touching the ground. or feel your legs. You can choose, but choose a spot where you know, sitting. And you observe rising, falling, sitting. And when the air comes in, you're totally, for 100%, with the rising of the abdomen. When the air leaves your body gently, you're fully 100% aware of the falling, and then you become 100% aware of the sitting. While you know, experience the sitting, you may breathe as much as you need. But you're not going to the breath. You stay with the sitting as long as you need to fully know it. Once you know and name the sitting, you can shift your awareness to the next rising and in-breath that is softly entering your body. And should questions about meditation occur to you, now would be the time to ask them. You can just continue to do what you just did, breathing in and out. There is one question that is not really about meditation, but we can talk about that. It is the Ayyā. Can good karma cancel bad karma? Can you escape karma? And what is cosmic karma? Thank you. Fezi, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Let me start with the last part of your question. What is cosmic karma? I do not know what cosmic karma is, and I don't think that there is something like cosmic karma. I don't think so. Karma is quite individual. Each of us, we do our own deeds. We have our own very particular good and bad thoughts. And we do our very own good and bad deeds. And in this way, we create karma. We have an influence on our karma. But that has nothing to do with cosmic karma. That is very personal. And no, you cannot escape karma. There's no way. This is said in the suttas by the Buddha himself. There is no way whatsoever that you can escape karma. What is good karma and bad karma? Or can good karma cancel bad karma? So the Buddha said about karma that it's very, very difficult to know, to understand how karma works and what it does. And that we most likely will not be able to fully understand it. But we can understand that the more good things we do that are really, truly good from beginning to the end, we will have good results whenever they occur. They don't need to happen, the good results, don't need to happen right afterwards. It can be sometime later, and that sometime can actually be quite long. So that good karma can cancel bad karma, cannot be said. It may seem so, but actually it doesn't work like that. So since every karma has to be lived out until it's gotten over with, it doesn't sound logic that good karma would cancel out bad karma. So in any case, you have to deal with the fruit of your former bad karma, and you have to do good karma and do good deeds in body, speech, and mind, so that no further bad karma is arising. Nonetheless, there are possibilities, because karma is nothing that is sizzled into rock, but karma is a very dynamic, not even theme, but I don't know another word now for it. Karma is very dynamic, and you can work with it. Although you cannot cancel out bad karma, you can do so much good karma that the bad karma that you inevitably have to experience doesn't feel so bad and doesn't come as a shock. And you can, for example, by your behavior, your nutrition, your meditative attainments, kind of deal better with bad karma. So if, for example, you have a bad karma to deal with in this life, and then you become an arahant, like remember Angulimala. He had to deal with the bad karma of killings, but he also had a lot of good karma, and he dealt with the bad karma that he had. So the karma, the bad karma, was not cancelled out. He was beaten and maltreated. But since he became an arahant and bore up with it, with the results of his former actions, he had to bear only with a very very small amount of the bad karma that he would have to deal with otherwise. So he didn't cancel it. He still had to bear it. But he changed the outcome by becoming an arahant. I wouldn't think it would always work that way. There are also signs in the suttas. I unfortunately don't remember where I read it, but there is a place in the suttas where the monks talk about that they have to care about people, supporters, that have become stream enterer, and by becoming stream enterer, having lost everything because they were no longer interested in making good deals in trades or something. So one might have thought after becoming a stream enterer, they have encountered bad fate, but for them it was good. So yeah, so you can change karma maybe and make it more bearable and you can change the outcome somewhat, but you cannot change and cancel bad karma. So next question, and please continue to throw in your questions into the chat. Dear Ayyā, how often should we meditate in a day? As often as possible. The more you can meditate, the better. If you have the option, if you have the possibility to meditate an hour a day, then do it. And try to do it every day. If you have the option to do it half an hour, then do that at least. But don't do less. If you have only 5 minutes, then do this. But do it. And do it as often as you can during a day. If you only have 5 minutes at a time, then do 5 minutes very often. Do it in your lunch break. Do it before you go. Do it when you're on a train or when you're sitting in a traffic jam or whatever. Try to do it as often as possible. And if you don't have the time to formally meditate, then at least do a practice that you incorporate into your daily routine. But you should really practice every day. So there are people who say, I can't do it every day. And I can understand that. I was a lay person once and I didn't do it every day. But it's important. I can tell you it's really important to do, because life is short. And you have this lifetime to become a better person, to develop on the path, and to make sure that the Dhamma and your meditation practice takes a foothold within your heart and mind. So much so that it transforms yourself, and that you maybe even become a stream enterer. And I strongly believe that we all should aim to become at least stream enterers in this lifetime. We should aim for, we should not push ourselves too much, but we should develop quite a good discipline to go for that. You have this opportunity. You have encountered the Dhamma. You have a good source. You can listen to the Dhamma every day, and you can learn about it, and you can practice. So take the chance, take this opportunity. And if you have the opportunity to meditate twice a day, then do that. If you have the opportunity to meditate more often than that, well, spend your life meditating. And you don't need to become a monk or a nun to do that. So does that answer your question on how often should we meditate in a day? I hope so. So, next question. Does meditation burn karma? You could put it that way. But I know what is there to burn? There is nothing to burn. There is karma. We do not know what karma we do carry, or we have to deal with now or whenever. And we can do only what we can do now in this moment. And once we understand that it is now and now and now and now that we can transform ourselves to be better, and by transforming ourselves to become better people, then our karma somewhat changes, because not more bad karma accumulates, but we can actually start to, if you want to say, burn off old karma. The meditation in itself, I wouldn't think burns karma in a way, but when you sit there, as soon as your bottom, as you touch your meditation cushion, in that very moment, you eliminate two major sources of unwholesomeness. Namely, you eliminate, for the time being, for as long as you sit in meditation, you eliminate unwholesome actions. So you don't do karma by unwholesome actions. You eliminate unwholesome speech, because when you sit in meditation, you don't talk. So you have eliminated two very large sources of bad karma. when you sit in meditation. And that, of course, does something with your karma. It doesn't do more bad karma. It does not burn your old karma. That needs to be experienced. But it doesn't create more bad karma. And you only have the thoughts. Those in meditation, sitting there on your cushion, may, unfortunately, if you are not aware, be unwholesome. But they also may be wholesome. So you need to be very aware of what you're thinking. You don't need to get rid of your thoughts. I wouldn't say that, because we can learn a tremendous amount of what we have to deal with when we let our thoughts be and just observe them without judging them and without wanting them to go away. So we would just observe them, and then they would calm down. So this all doesn't burn karma. Although it might feel as if, because you don't create any more bad karma. But as I said in the suttas stated by the Buddha himself, it is said, every single karma needs to be experienced. So there is another question. Richard says, I started walking meditation on Saturday for the first time, 5 minutes a day to make the habit stick. I chant Buddho with each step. However, I need to make greater effort with balance. Thoughts? Well, 5 minutes is not too much. That would be my first thought on it. And try to do more. Don't expect too much after, what is today, Wednesday. So you started on Saturday, 5 minutes. So you have done so far maybe 20 minutes of walking meditation. So don't expect it to be perfect. So if possible, gear up a little bit and put more effort into it and do more time. So a greater effort with balance, you mean you're probably bouncing left and right and losing balance and so on. This is very normal in the beginning because you're not used to walking meditation yet. And this is a physical exercise, if you wish to say, for the body, an uncommon movement. So with the time, the more you do it, the more stable you will get. And you lose your balance because in normal walking, you have your arms doing a counterbalance. And in walking meditation, you commonly have the hands together like this in front of your body, in front of your belly. So you shouldn't forget to have kind of a counter movement And you should allow that. So don't make your column vertebral like a broomstick, stiff. Let it be flexible. Let your air go in and out. Let the breath go in and out smoothly and softly. So, and make sure that you are relaxed and only need those muscles that you need to work for that movement. And thus, you will train those muscles that you will need to keep the balance. So the stiffer you are, and the more like tight you do it, the longer it will take for you to get used to it in a proper way. And the more it might hurt even. I never do it with Budo. Never done that. That's not my practice. I do, I'm just more like an insight meditation practitioner. Although you could say anything. It's not the word that is so very important. You can also say cheesecake. That wouldn't matter too much. But Buddha reminds you of the Buddha. So this is good. You can do that. What I would prefer for myself as a practice is to be in the present moment. Buddha is a concept, is an idea. You might have a feeling for it when you say Buddha, or you might have an imagination or whatever. There might be something that you have when you say Buddha, but it might be just an empty word, when you step there and try to figure out whereabout. So what I would do is, with each step, being in the present moment. And we, in our meditation tradition of Mahasi Sayadaw or Ajahn Tong meditation technique, this is what I teach and what I practice. We have 6 different kind of steps. Each builds up on the other. And you learn those steps during a retreat, for example. And I could just try to explain to you the first step. I think I have to take this away. So the first step of our meditation technique would be that you stand there at the beginning of your walking path and you're about to walk back and forth. Let it be 2 meters, 3, 4, 5 meters, not more than that. So you stand at one end of your walking path. Your eyes are slightly open and touching the ground. And they don't fix on anything on the ground. They are just relaxed, holding on to nothing. Your feet are a little bit apart from each other so that you feel, the balanced inward and outward. You may need to play a little bit around with that so that your feet are really not hanging inwards or being outwards, but that you stand there. your ankles apart from each other, like buttock wide. Not like that, but the middle of your feet, like the buttocks distance. So you stand there. You say to yourself, instead of Buddha, you observe the present moment. So what are you doing? You're standing. So you say it. Standing. 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 Why are you standing there? Because you want to do walking meditation. So at some point there must have been the intention to walk. That's why you stand there. So you try to know, you try to feel, to follow it after. Where is the intention? And you say, you name it when you see it. Intention to walk. You may reinforce it and say it again. Intention to walk. Intention to walk. So this intention needs to get somewhere. You're about to make a step. And you're observing just without moving any inch of your foot or of your body. You're just observing how this intention is finally getting into your foot. And then you notice, there it is. The intention finally reached your foot. And with that, you say, right. And you acknowledge the right foot is ready to go. Right goes thus. Same thing then with the left foot. You know you have the intention to walk. Now, how does that intention get onto your foot? You don't need to know where it comes from, but you need to be very aware of that it is there. And you say left when it is there. Goes thus. Right goes thus. And so forth. So you're moving very slowly, and a distance of half foot length is totally enough. You don't need to make large steps because you don't have an appointment at the other end of your walking path. And you have all the time to get there. So once you come to the end of your walking path by observing every single step, how is the intention coming into the foot? Not moving anything. I'm trying to do it with my feet now, but you won't see that, unfortunately, right? nothing moves, just a thought or an intention. When it's ready, when it's there, your foot is ready to move. Without an intention, your foot is not ready. When there's no intention to walk, the foot won't move. If you have the intention to sit, you can stand there as long as you like. Nothing moves. Only maybe towards sitting. So that is how I would do it. So trying to be in the present moment with the steps, not putting any concept into it. But you can use the Buddha. There is nothing wrong with that. That is just that I wouldn't do it, because I think that when we work with concepts, we're not in the moment. And the moment is where we can see things, where we can change things, where we can deal with our karma, and where we can become enlightened in the end. So we still have some time left. What other questions do you have? Please write them into the chatting section. Whoa, sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. What a major difference. I was practicing as you were explaining. My balance has already improved. Thanks. I'm happy to help. Yes. Thank you for the feedback. So, what else do we have? What else do we need to clear? Clear the path for enlightenment. This is what we should do. We don't need to strive for full arahantship, although maybe why not? But we should at least strive for stream entry, you know? This is great. This really makes a difference for you and also for those who are concerned about their karma. Becoming a stream enterer would make a huge difference. So, Richard has another question. Would it be okay to stand as long as necessary and only move when the feet are ready? Right, I would do that. And if that means you stand there 10 minutes of your 5-minute walking meditation, then it is so. Just observe. I mean, we can walk. We learned it with 1.5, 2 years old. We don't have a real problem walking. You know, we can do it, and we can think, and we can watch, and we can do many things when we walk. So the problem is not the walking. The problem is to walk in a way that we are aware of that we are walking. So we need to kind of relearn it in a way, and to learn to relearn it in a way that you are becoming aware of what you are doing is actually in walking quite difficult, because I don't know how old you are, but I am walking since more than 60 years. So I learned that maybe 60 whatever years ago, 61, 62 years ago. So that is hard to unlearn, to walk mindlessly and to walk in a way that you are not mindlessly having the stream of thoughts and being distracted here and there. So this is why I'm so meticulous about the walking, and really would only walk when the intention to walk is clear, because then it's congruent what you do and what you say and what you're about to do. And so it is kind of what is going on. So I started slow because of my health condition, but your suggestion means I can go much longer and keep up with the practice. That is wonderful, Richard. And there is absolutely no whatsoever hurry in walking meditation. Please walk slow. Please, the slower the better, actually. And you do train your body with that. When you are aware of movements and counter movements of your body, you actually strengthen your center and get a much stronger balance in your body. So, and you can do that a lot. So Diego has something to say, or ask the Ayyā, what would you say I should add to my practice? I donate part of my salary, keep the 5 precepts, observe Uposatha, and every morning pay homage to the Triple Gem. Continued. Do the 5 recollections, practice Metta Bhavana and Satipatthana. That is brilliant, Diego. Wonderful. So you dedicate your life, as it seems, to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, which is wonderful. I think keeping the 5 precepts is a huge part in the beginning, and to observe the Uposatha day and keep on those days the 8 precepts is marvelous. To do the recollections, we talked about the recollections already. Maybe find the talk, but to do recollections and practice Metta Bhavana and Satipatthana. I don't know what more you can do, but I think there's not more that you can. And in addition, I do this, and in addition that. But if you do all this wholeheartedly, fully, totally, when you are doing it, then you have a strong practice. So if you are only doing it, 5 minutes recollections, and then let me rush to the metta practice, and Satipatthana. So do it long enough. One of those things would be good if you do it wholeheartedly. 2 of those would be even better when you do it wholeheartedly. So it is the 5 recollections or the metta practice can lead you to enlightenment, right? But it's not that you add plus and plus and plus. It's that you add an attitude of humbleness, of truthfulness, so that you more and more bring the 10 paramis to it. That you perfect yourself like the Buddha did when he was not fully enlightened yet. He had eons, many, many lifetimes when he perfected his paramis. So his dana parami, you're doing that. You're donating salary, part of your salary. Sila parami, you do that. So this is great. And most probably you do practice a lot of those paramis by what you are doing. But since I do not know you personally, and I don't know how you practice these things, this is all I can say. It's not the amount of things that you practice. If you practice the Satipatthana in a way that you are 100% throughout the day with one of the 4 Satipatthanas, and your awareness is always with one of the Satipatthanas, going through and through, knowing everything in every single moment, then your practice is great. And then your dedication to the practice is good enough that you get somewhere. But as I said, the 5 recollections, the metta bhavana, or the practice with the 4 satipatthanas, each of them can make you enlightened. But that you do what you do is already great. Never stop that. Never stop. Never add more, maybe change sometimes. And I think, Diego, yes, I think really we learn in this life that we rush through things, that we do this and that, and being here and reacting there, and we need to be focused and one-pointed. We need to learn again to do one thing 100%. Every single moment, 100%. Always fully there, no boom, everywhere. So that is my aim, to bring the people to be more focused in their lives, and that in return will help in the meditation practice, actually. So do we have more? Otherwise, I would say this is enough for today. This was Ayyā Phalanyani from Germany, Anenja Vihara. So since we did not speak about Nama Rupa, oh, thank you for asking. It's coming along. Health is improving and getting worse and getting better. So not 100% there yet. I don't know how long it will take. So one day I feel almost fine, and next day I forget things and sleep like hours and hours. So it's not fully recovered yet, but I would think it is coming along. Right. So next time, most probably then, Namarupa, as we did not do that this time. Okay. Be well, everybody. See you. Bye.